Harry Litman, you were the former top federal prosecutor in Western Pennsylvania, as a federal prosecutor there. Hence, that's why your YouTube channel's The Talking Feds and your Substacks, The Talking Feds. I got to ask you this, though, because Donald Trump's border czar says that he's going to put federal prosecutors to go after state officials, mayors, governors, city officials, county officials, if they don't go along with bloody mass deportations and ripping families apart, which Trump and Tom Homan, who was the author of the Project 2025 section on bloody mass deportation, say they are going to do. Harry, we've seen a lot of blue states, blue cities, their mayors, the governors, saying absolutely not. We are not going to help bloody mass deportations. In fact, we are going to resist bloody mass deportations. We're not turning our local police forces or county police forces into workplace raids. We're not going into the churches and the schools and places of worship and hospitals. We're not doing it. We're stopping it. We're not having no part of it in our blue states or our states. And these states are saying, look, hello, federalism. We have our own state sovereign interest as well. And you can't bully us and co-opt us to attack people in our state. Let me show you, Harry, what Tom Homan said on his Fox News appearance. I put news in quotes, though, and what he said he's going to do. And I want to ask you, you have unique insight, federal prosecutor.
Yeah.
This, obviously, you wouldn't have been appointed by a Republican administration, but I want to play it out with, if you get an order like this, how would you have responded? What would you have ordered your assistant U.S. attorneys to do in your office? Let's play the clip and let's hear from you. But let's play the clip first.
Your deportation plan is going to start in a big way in Chicago. And you said the governor and the mayor can either help you or get out of the way. But you also said if he, meaning the mayor, if he impedes us, if he knowingly harbors or conceals an illegal alien, I will prosecute him. So you will not only go after the illegal migrants, you may go after some mayors who aren't helping.
If they step over that line, they can sit back and watch us, which I find incredible. You don't want to take public safety threats out of your community and help us. But there are laws on the books that we will prosecute. It's 18 U.S.C. 111. Impeding a federal law enforcement officer is a felony. Title 8 United States Code 1324 III. If you knowingly conceal or harbor an illegal alien from ICE, that is a felony. When I was an agent a long time ago, I've arrested U.S. citizens for harboring an alien in their home or place of employment. If I get
Harry, break it down for us.
Yeah. Man, oh man. So with these deportations, you think about them on the ground and you think about them legally. Look what he was just saying, right? This is, we've had this image in our mind so far of roundups and what this would mean for the country, how convulsive it would be, how shameful it would be. Now we have another one. What's it sound like? Nazi Germany. It really, really does. You're hiding a migrant in your, and that's what that law is for, by the way. Literally, hiding someone in your basement. And man, for the feds to come in. So that's the first point, is just the atmospherics are just like vicious and likely to lead to a really strong pushback. Second, you said a very important word in our first in what you were saying about federalism. What Homan is talking about? Okay, does the mayor have a separate wing in his home where she or he are actually hiding migrants, or do they mean that their policy is in favor of it? And they're letting shelters be run and the like, or resisting? If it's the latter, and it is going to be the latter, you are the law that you as U.S. attorney have been told to enforce, the law he's talking about. You look in the books and you go, and by the way, this has to go. Here's how it would work technically. Homan can't pick up the phone and do this. He's got to pick up the phone, scream at Pam Bondi, who has the deputy attorney general call up the U.S. attorneys and scream. Now, of course, there's going to be half of them who are like, oh, yeah, boss, where do we go? Let's round up the mayor. But they're going to be half for either political reasons or ethical reasons. There's no case here. And when you push back and are saying there's no case there, and the deputy attorney general, who that's going to be a Trump attorney, right? Emile Beauvais says you got to do it. That's when you get revolts of U.S. attorneys on your hands. That's when you get 7, 8, 9, 15 saying we ain't doing that. And the levers to force them, at least what he's talking about, to actually, here's your arrest warrant, Mr. Mayor, for doing what? For pursuing policies that are not in lockstep with us and mass migrations. That case, it just not. You're talking about the elected official for legal reasons, but also practical. That case ain't happening, and the U.S. attorney is going to be calling up the deputy and say, "Are you fucking asking me to commit suicide here? The mayor, the most important person in the political system, you want me to go and serve a federal arrest warrant? You come do it, you jerk." You're going to find some real civil disobedience among U.S. attorneys.
You know, Tom Homan, the position is called border czar.
Yeah.
That's basically a made-up position that doesn't require confirmation. A border czar isn't a constitutional position. It's not a cabinet position. It's just kind of a dude or a dudette, who, and so, I guess the purpose of this, number one, the usurpation of power and him theatrically performing on Fox like this and looking like he's been deputized
big sheriff,
roles that he doesn't have. Number one, I think that's a concerning thing. But number two also is just the mere threats that he's making right now, even if they don't act upon it, has a chilling effect within the migrant community and among businesses, I think, that rely on migrant labor, many of who are paying taxes and who are contributing, where he's on there every day before Donald Trump's even in office, kind of just terrorizing communities with, we're coming after you, we're coming after you, we're coming after you. And I think that in and of itself is part of what his plan is. I mean, I wonder if they're thinking, look, we may not have the legal levers, bloody mass deportations by itself is going to look bad. Let's go on Fox, a propaganda network, every day and scare the shit out of migrants. And maybe they'll leave on their own because Homan's on there, threatening them every day. And Fox is like, we'll be your mouthpiece. So I think it's important before we go to reflect on both those two things. One, not a real position, but two, is the real goal here to inflict a form of terror or inflict terror upon these migrant communities right now? Harry.
It's so true and so important. Homans can now go to the czar parties. There's like a 15 of them who can do, but he doesn't have any real power. He is, by the way, contrary to the basic run of Trump nominees or prospective nominees, he's actually is somewhat skillful, knows how to work the system, has worked in it. But he's a czar, and as I said, he can't pick up a phone. He can maybe pick up the phone and tell the president to pick up the phone and tell the attorney general. But if anyone's going to be bossing U.S. attorneys around, it's going to be the deputy attorney general. And even so, that's a delicate point for the deputy attorney general. U.S. attorneys, kind of like Wray, they're appointed for a term of years. Many of them have independent political kind of bases through their senators and mayors and whatever. And the deputy attorney general moves at his peril if he tries to do it. But the general kind of notion, I think it's always in Trump playbook. We've learned it's the wall. You say you're going to do it, you don't do it, and you declare victory anyway. But here, what that means is exactly what you're saying, Ben. That means you're terrorizing the migrant community. We know anecdotally, and we've read about stuff. They're just completely terrorizing. There's no way he's going to do these millions of folks, etc. And yet what they're doing too, including the most sort of productive, longstanding American, if you will, at least, they've been here for generations, really important members of society, that the way he's just kind of scaring them to their hearts is really, I think, kind of repugnant. But I think that could well be in the Trump playbook. There's no way we're going to see these huge roundups, but we'll see some. And will we see neighbors, informing on neighbors, especially if there's that kind of thing? It's grotesque, and really, it's not a democracy. It's right. It's what we think of as among the worst elements of fascist society.
Harry Litman, on that note, tell everybody to check out your YouTube, the Talking Feds YouTube, the Talking Feds podcast, and the Talking Feds Substack. Your Substack is already a bestseller in such a short period of time.
Yeah.
It's a really good Substack. It's where I get a lot of my legal knowledge. Your breakdown on Dobbs 2 and what that could look like on the attack on the LGBTQ community. I mean, it's detailed analysis that you all need to see. Thanks, Harry.
I just want to say, I really appreciate that. And I feel a little liberated. A lot of my journalism before was with papers, certain lengths, etc. I let it fly here, and I really say what I'm thinking and put out arguments, and I find it pretty fun. So I hope that comes through for followers.
I think it does. Harry Litman, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Real quick, Meta just changed their algorithm to suppress political content. Please follow our Instagram @MeidasTouch right now as we head towards 400,000 followers so you don't miss a beat.